4 years ago, somebody handed me a handful of strange, knobbly roots and told me to just put them in the ground. No instructions, no YouTube tutorial, just plant them and see what happens. So I threw them in the most neglected corner of my garden. Bad soil, no fertilizer, zero attention. And I genuinely forgot about them for months. Then autumn came. And what I found when I went back to that forgotten corner completely changed how I think about growing food. Before we get into this, if you're someone who wants to grow more food with less effort, you're in exactly the right place. Hit that subscribe button right now and join the Hidden Harvest Vault family, because this channel is dedicated to finding the crops that do the work for you. Introducing Yacón. What came out of that forgotten corner were plants nearly 2 meters tall, grown from almost nothing, and underneath the soil, roots the size of sweet potatoes. Big, heavy, healthy roots. I washed one off and bit into it right there in the garden. It tasted like apple mixed with honey, sweet, juicy, and incredibly crunchy, like nature had invented its own candy. That plant is called Yacón, and I'm convinced it's one of the most underrated crops on the planet. Here's what blows my mind. In Peru and Bolivia, people have been eating this for centuries. It's been a staple Andean crop since before written history. But outside of South America, almost nobody grows it. Almost nobody even knows it exists. And that makes absolutely no sense, because Yacón offers something that nearly every home grower is searching for. Massive harvests, minimal effort, almost no pest pressure, and food that actually tastes incredible. Drop a leaf in the comments right now if you've never heard of Yacón before. I want to see how many of us were sleeping on this plant. What is Yacón? Scientifically, it's called Smolanthus sonchifolius, part of the Asteraceae family, which makes it a distant cousin of the sunflower and the artichoke. It originates from the Andes, traditionally grown at elevations between 1,000 and 3,000 meters, regions with mild days, cool nights, and plenty of sun. That Andean origin is actually great news for growers, because it means this plant adapts beautifully to a wide range of climates, as long as you're not dealing with brutal, prolonged freezes. Now, here's something critical that catches almost everyone off guard the first time. Yacón produces two completely different types of roots. The first are the storage roots, the large, smooth ones that hang down like sweet potatoes. These are what you eat. The second are the rhizomes, smaller, knobby, compact roots attached to the base of the stem. These are what you replant. Do not eat the rhizomes. They're tough, fibrous, and taste genuinely awful. I made that mistake myself. I dug everything up, washed it all, bit into a rhizome, and almost wrote the whole. Let's talk about what makes Yacón genuinely special, not just as a garden plant, but as a food. The flavor is unlike anything you can buy at a supermarket. It's sweet, noticeably sweet, but it doesn't taste like sugar. It's more like biting into the love child of an apple, a pear, and a very subtle melon. And the texture is firm and crunchy, almost like water chestnut. My kids eat it like candy. Raw, peeled, cut into sticks, they go through it like a snack bowl. But here's where it gets genuinely interesting from a nutritional standpoint. That sweetness doesn't come from regular sugar. It comes from compounds called fructooligosaccharides, FOS. These are chains of fructose that your digestive system cannot fully break down like normal sugar. Instead of being absorbed into the bloodstream, they travel to the large intestine, where they feed beneficial gut bacteria. In other words, Yacón is a natural prebiotic. There's serious research, particularly out of Peru and Japan, studying Yacón's impact on gut microbiome health, glucose metabolism, and its potential role in diets for people managing type 2 diabetes. I want to be clear, this is not a miracle cure. It's food, but it's food with a nutritional profile that genuinely stands out. A 200-gram serving of Yacón contains roughly 60 calories. The same amount of sweet potato is significantly higher. Yet Yacón still tastes sweet and satisfying. That's the part that almost feels unfair. It tastes indulgent, it fills you up, it refreshes you, and it's genuinely low impact calorically. Has anyone here already tried Yacón? Tell me in the comments. I want to know your experience.
How to grow it. Now, let's get into the part I know most of you are here for. How do you actually grow this thing? And the honest answer is almost embarrassingly easily. If you've grown potatoes before, forget everything you know about the stress involved. Yacón is in a completely different category. What you need to start: the rhizomes, those knobby, compact root sections with visible growth buds on them. They look a bit like ginger. Those buds are where your shoots will emerge. When to plant? Spring, once the risk of frost has passed. Yacón doesn't tolerate hard freezes, so wait until your soil has warmed up. How to plant? Dig a hole about 20 centimeters deep. Place the rhizome inside. Cover it. That's it. Seriously, that's it. If your soil is reasonably healthy, you don't need to add much. If it's poor, a layer of mature compost mixed in at planting time will help. But here's a counterintuitive tip. Don't go overboard with nitrogen-heavy fertilizers. Too much nitrogen pushes the plant to produce enormous leafy growth above ground at the expense of root development below. You want balance, not excess. Spacing matters. Give each plant at least a meter. I personally prefer 1.5 meters. Yacón gets big. We're talking 1.8 to 2 meters tall, with large, lush green leaves. It's honestly attractive enough to use as a privacy screen or living fence, with the bonus that you can eat the harvest at the end of the season. Water needs? Surprisingly modest. Yacón handles moderate drought well. During summer, once a week is usually plenty. In spring and autumn, rainfall often covers it entirely. Compare that to tomatoes or cucumbers that need constant monitoring.
Harvest time. As autumn arrives, you'll notice the plant starting to change, leaves yellowing and dying back. This is completely normal and actually a good sign. The plant is redirecting all its energy downward into the roots. The ideal harvest window is after the first light frost, or once the above-ground growth has fully died back. How to harvest? Cut the stems down to ground level first, then use a digging fork, not a spade, to loosen the soil in a wide circle around the plant. Work carefully. The storage roots are surprisingly fragile and bruise easily. When the root mass comes free, you'll see both types clearly: the rhizomes clustered at the base of the old stem and the large storage roots hanging below. Separate them immediately. Rhizomes go into storage for next year's planting. Roots go to the kitchen. Post-harvest tip: leave the storage roots in a dry, airy spot for 1 to 2 days before eating or storing them. This resting period allows some of their compounds to convert, and the flavor noticeably sweetens during this time. Storage mistake I made. In my first year, I washed the entire harvest before storing it. Within weeks, a significant portion had rotted. Now I store them with a thin layer of soil still attached and only wash them right before eating. That single change virtually eliminated storage losses. For the rhizomes, store them in a slightly moist medium. Peat or sawdust works well, in a cool but frost-free location. They'll keep reliably until the following spring. How to eat it? My favorite way, and honestly the best way if you care about nutrition, is raw. Peel it, cut into sticks, drop them in water with a few drops of lemon juice to prevent browning, and eat them just like that. They make an incredible snack straight from the bowl. Yacón also works beautifully in salads. My personal favorite combination: Yacón, roasted beetroot, walnuts, and goat cheese. The fresh crunch of the Yacón against the earthy beetroot and salty cheese, it's one of those combinations that surprises people every time. You can cook it, stir-fried, roasted with olive oil and rosemary, and it's genuinely delicious. Just know that heat breaks down the fructooligosaccharides, which reduces the prebiotic benefit. If the nutritional profile matters, You can also juice it. Blended raw and strained, mixed with apple and carrot, makes a refreshing drink with no added sugar, One important caution. If you've never eaten yacon before, start small. The high FOS content can cause bloating or gas if your gut isn't accustomed to it. Start with around 50 grams and work up gradually. I ignored this advice the first time I had a good harvest. I ate a lot of yacon. My stomach reminded me why that was a bad idea. Why doesn't everyone grow this? Fair question. If this plant is so productive and so easy, why isn't it everywhere? 3 main reasons. Awareness. Outside of Andean communities, most people simply don't know it exists. No demand means no commercial production, which means no visibility. Fragility in transport. The roots bruise easily, which makes large-scale commercial distribution difficult. Unlike potatoes, yacon doesn't survive rough handling well. Storage lifespan. It keeps well for months under good conditions, but not as long or as easily as a potato. For supermarket supply chains, that's a problem. For a home grower storing in their own cellar, it barely matters. For the family garden specifically, none of these drawbacks apply. You harvest it, store it yourself, and eat it over the following months. For self-sufficiency, this crop is
If you have a single unused corner in your garden, a patch you don't know what to do with, plant yacon there this spring. Put in 4 or 5 rhizomes, leave them alone. Check on them in autumn. I can almost guarantee the harvest will be bigger than you expect. And when you harvest, keep more rhizomes than you think you need. Your first year, you'll be tempted to keep just a few. Keep more. The extras make the best gifts, and there's something genuinely satisfying about helping a plant this good spread further into the world. Yacon deserves to be known. A crop this productive, this low maintenance, and this delicious should not still be a secret in 2024. If this video gave you something useful, like it, share it with someone who grows food, and subscribe to Hidden Harvest Vault, because this is exactly what this channel is built for. Finding the crops that most people walk right past and showing you why they deserve a place in your garden. I'll see you in the next one. Keep growing.